The wisdom of your body knows. Naturally, I want to try to think about it. I want to try to figure it out. I want to try to think about all the possibilities and the options and make sure I'm not overlooking anything. And the problem with this is that the scenarios and the possibilities and the equations are endless. It's endless. I will never be 100% on anything whenever I'm using my mind to try to figure it out like it's some sort of math problem. The reality is, whenever I tune into the wisdom of my body, I'm able to make decisions that are actually true to who I am and my incarnation. Because that's what this is. The incarnation is the soul, the spirit, inhabiting the physical body, the flesh. And when we're trying to make decisions for what to do in the material world, we should probably check in with our materiality and see what is it telling us. And so for me, what I've learned is that whenever I understand, which that's kind of an interesting thing to say, whenever I understand on a body level, on a heart level, what I am to be doing, that's how I know my path and my trajectory. Whenever I allow my mind to relax and I come down into the wisdom of my body and of my heart, I have learned that the answers have already been here the whole time. Things are way less trivial whenever I tune into the wisdom of my body, of what I'm feeling, and I tune into the wisdom of my emotion, of not in the moment, maybe whenever I'm like super irritated or super ticked off, or even whenever I'm super ecstatic and joyful, but whenever I allow those waves, that set of waves to come and sort of find its nice balanced place within me where I'm not averting anything or I'm not attracted towards any preferences, whenever I'm not doing this sort of dichotomy thing, whenever I find myself just in that calm place of peaceful presence, and I can check in and say, what do I feel in me? What do I sense in the space of my heart? What tension do I feel in my body? Where is it at? What could that be telling me? And like Alan Watts once said, muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone. And in our mind, when we're constantly thinking through scenarios, when we're constantly trying to figure out things in a very linear way, we will never come to the conclusion that we want. But when we surrender our mind, when we live in tune with the wisdom of our body, we'll find that the answers have already been here all along. And whenever we stop trying to conceptualize our decisions and realize that we can already feel them to be true within us, we can act in accordance with the body wisdom, with the heart wisdom that is within us. And this may be different for you. Another plug for human design. You might be a very mental person. You might even be a gut person. This is going to vary and change for you. For me, my authority in my life is emotion. Not even emotional intuition, just simply emotion. So with that, a lot of emotions come and a lot of emotions go. But I have to tune in to the emotional place in order to make correct decisions for my life. And so it would behoove you to understand your human design chart to know what your authority is. But I would even say, as a general rule of thumb, I think everyone in the West is obsessed with trying to logically and rationally figure out everything in life. And we ignore the wisdom of our body and we ignore the wisdom of our heart. And I think that if we tuned into that, we would save a whole lot of time. And if we would trust that, we would actually have a sort of respect for ourselves and a dignity for ourselves that we never even knew was a possibility. Because so many people are trying to control and manipulate you based on your thought, based on what you think about things, your beliefs about you or something, or how you actually do anything in your life. The merit and the effort-based things, people are trying to box you into certain arenas. But if you tune in to the wisdom of your body and your heart, you'll already know your lane. You won't be being pushed or pulled to and fro by everyone else trying to use your mind to manipulate you. You'll already know within you what's right for you. And so for me, over these past couple weeks, I've had some really intense times of decision making. And I've had some really intense situations and scenarios. And the ability to be able to stay grounded and centered and balanced and in harmony and check in with my body to make decisions over these past few weeks has been absolutely crucial. And so I realized there was some stuff going on with our apartment situation where we live. And I have a wife and 2 kids, and I have a commitment and a responsibility to be the provider, to be the dad, to be the husband. And some of this was being called into jeopardy, and it was a really difficult time. And I noticed that down at the root, as vulgar as it may be, down in my butt, there was pressure. And over a couple days, I realized I feel grounded, I feel centered, but there's this deep pressure in my butt. And I'm like, what is that about? And whenever I tuned into that and I sat in meditation and really just sort of came out of all of the drama of my life, I realized, oh, this has to do with my root chakra. This has to do with the basic fundamentals of my living, my housing. It's telling me that everything is okay. Everything's going to be all right. And for days, it was trying to get my attention, this pressure down in the root chakra. And finally, I heeded to it because I was so in my head trying to figure out all of this stuff of how we can navigate this rental situation that my body was telling me the whole time what was going to be okay. And so I surrendered to the wisdom of my body. And you know what? All of this situation, it was resolved. All of the worry, all of the fear, all of the doubt, all of the endless calculating that my mind was obsessed with didn't even matter in the end. And my body, the wisdom of my body, was trying to tell me that the whole time. And as soon as I tuned into the wisdom of my body, as soon as I tuned into what it was communicating to me and the truth that it was bringing to me, my heart and my emotion and any tension that I had in my chest, it went away. Because then I was able to live back in harmony and in tune. And not that I wasn't in tune the whole time, but sets of waves come in, or if you don't live by the ocean, thunderstorms come through. We don't really get those in Southern California, but thunderstorms come through. Yeah, and some lightning and some thunder happens, and then it goes on. And the wisdom of your body is telling you, anchor down into who you are. Because up here, it's all over the place, but you anchor down. Allow your body, allow your heart to tell you the truth. Because your mind may be a manipulator, but your body and your heart will tell you the truth. So listen to the wisdom of your body, and muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone. Grace and peace, friends. We will see you on the next video.